the ultimate guide to achieving and mastering wholesomeness. Welcome to your comprehensive guide on embracing and mastering wholesomeness in every aspect of life. In today's fast-paced, often cynical world, wholesomeness stands as a beacon of authentic living that promotes both physical and moral well-being. This presentation explores how to cultivate this quality that enriches not only our own lives but also positively impacts those around us. Wholesomeness isn't just an old-fashioned concept, it's a powerful approach to living that creates deeper connections, improved health outcomes, and greater satisfaction in daily life. Throughout this guide, we'll explore practical strategies, evidence-based approaches, and inspiring examples that will help you transform your lifestyle into one that truly embodies wholesomeness in all its dimensions. As we navigate through the different aspects of wholesome living, you'll discover that this journey isn't about perfection, but rather about intentional choices that gradually lead to a more fulfilling existence. Whether you're just beginning to explore this concept or looking to deepen your practice, this guide offers valuable insights for everyone seeking a more authentic, balanced way of being. Benefits of wholesomeness. Physical well-being. Wholesome living promotes physical health through better nutrition, more consistent exercise, and reduced stress levels. Research shows that people who embrace wholesome lifestyles experience lower rates of chronic disease, better immune function, and increased longevity. Mental resilience. Embracing wholesomeness builds remarkable mental fortitude. The practices associated with wholesome living, from mindfulness to positive social connections, create neural pathways that support emotional regulation and cognitive flexibility. Social connections. Perhaps the most profound benefit of wholesomeness is its impact on our relationships. When we approach interactions with authenticity, kindness, and integrity, we build deeper, more meaningful connections with others. These interconnected benefits create a powerful positive feedback loop. As our physical health improves, our mental well-being flourishes. As our mental resilience grows, our social relationships deepen, and as our social connections strengthen, our physical health is further enhanced. This holistic cycle forms the foundation of a truly wholesome life. Characteristics of wholesome living: mindfulness, balance and harmony, physical vitality, authentic connections, purposeful living. At its core, wholesome living embodies a balanced approach to life that nurtures both body and mind. This balance manifests in several key ways. Balanced lifestyle practices. True wholesomeness requires finding harmony between work, rest, and play. This means creating boundaries that protect your time for self-care while still meeting your responsibilities. A balanced lifestyle. Movement is essential to wholesome living, but it doesn't have to mean grueling workouts. The most sustainable approach involves finding activities you genuinely enjoy. Mindfulness and positive thinking. Perhaps the most transformative characteristic of wholesome living is the cultivation of present moment awareness coupled with an optimistic outlook. Research shows that mindfulness practices reduce stress hormones while positive thinking patterns strengthen neural pathways associated with resilience and well-being. Even a few minutes of daily meditation or gratitude journaling can substantially impact your mental landscape. Role of nutrition in wholesomeness. The foundation. Whole foods. Nutrition forms the cornerstone of wholesome living, with fresh, minimally processed foods providing the essential nutrients our bodies need to thrive. A truly wholesome diet emphasizes the impact of processed foods. The modern food landscape is dominated by ultra-processed products that can undermine wholesomeness. These foods typically contain artificial ingredients, excessive sugar, unhealthy fats, and high sodium levels that contribute to inflammation, energy fluctuations, and chronic health conditions. Research from the National Institutes of Health has shown that people consume approximately 500 more calories daily when eating ultra-processed foods compared to whole foods. Plant-forward eating. While wholesome eating doesn't require vegetarianism, increasing plant foods offers substantial benefits. Plant-based diets are associated with lower rates of heart disease, certain cancers, and obesity. The fiber in plant foods also supports gut health, which emerging research links to improved mood and cognitive function. Even incorporating a few meatless meals weekly can significantly impact your health and environmental footprint. Remember that wholesome nutrition isn't about perfection but consistency. The 80-20th approach, focusing on nutrient-dense whole foods most of the time while allowing space for less nutritious options occasionally, creates a sustainable relationship with food that nourishes both body and soul. Emotional and mental wholesomeness. Practicing gratitude. Regularly acknowledging the positives in your life rewires your brain for greater happiness. Studies show that keeping a gratitude journal for just 5 minutes daily can increase well-being by 10% and reduce depression by 35% after 3 weeks. Try listing 3 specific things you're grateful for each morning or evening. Cultivating forgiveness. Holding on to resentment creates a physiological stress response that damages health over time. Research from Stanford shows that forgiveness practices reduce stress hormones and blood pressure while improving immune function. This includes self-forgiveness, which counteracts shame and promotes healing. Practicing self-compassion. Treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend builds resilience. Dr. Kristen Neff's research demonstrates that self-compassion predicts psychological well-being better than self-esteem and helps maintain emotional balance during difficult times. Building wholesome relationships. Our social connections profoundly impact our mental and emotional wholesomeness. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on happiness, found that the quality of our relationships is the strongest predictor of well-being throughout life. Wholesome relationships are characterized by authentic communication, speaking honestly while remaining kind, healthy boundaries, clearly communicating your needs and limits, active listening, being fully present without planning your response, mutual support, celebrating successes and providing comfort in difficulties, conflict resolution, addressing issues directly without blame, shared growth, encouraging each other's development. Emotional wholesomeness also involves developing emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while empathizing with others. This skill set enables more nuanced responses to life's challenges and creates space for deeper connection with yourself and others. Wholesome activities for mind and body. Mindfulness practices. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life cultivates presence and reduces the mental chatter that often leads to stress and anxiety. Effective practices include meditation. Even 5 to 10 minutes daily builds the mindfulness muscle. Mindful breathing. Simple breath awareness exercises can be done anywhere. Body scanning. Systematically noticing sensations throughout your body. Mindful eating. Slowing down to fully experience flavors and textures. Walking meditation. Bringing awareness to each step in your surroundings. Nature connection. Time in natural settings has been scientifically proven to reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve mood. The Japanese practice of forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku, demonstrates that even 20 minutes among trees increases feelings of vitality and decreases rumination. Wholesome outdoor activities include hiking local trails or nature preserves, gardening and plant cure, wildlife observation and bird watching, picnics and outdoor meals with loved ones, community service and volunteering. Contributing to the welfare of others creates what researchers call a helper's high, a release of endorphins that promotes feelings of well-being and connection. Regular volunteering has been linked to lower rates of depression, increased life satisfaction, and even longer lifespan. Wholesome service opportunities include local food banks and meal programs, helping address food insecurity in your community while connecting with neighbors, environmental restoration projects. Participating in beach cleanups, tree planting, or habitat restoration combines nature connection with meaningful service. Mentoring programs. Sharing your knowledge and experience with younger generations creates powerful intergenerational bonds. Wholesome entertainment and media. In today's hyperconnected world, the media we consume profoundly shapes our thoughts, emotions, and worldview. Cultivating wholesomeness requires mindful curation of your digital diet and entertainment choices. Positive media selection. Choose content that aligns with your values and leaves you feeling uplifted rather than drained. Research shows that consuming negative news and media can trigger stress responses and anxiety, while uplifting content can inspire and motivate. Enriching literature. Reading quality fiction and nonfiction develops empathy, expands worldview, and provides meaningful escape. Studies show that reading literary fiction improves theory of mind, the ability to understand others' mental states. Mindful music. Music profoundly affects mood and energy. Create playlists that energize, calm, or inspire depending on your needs. Research shows that listening to preferred music reduces cortisol levels and can alleviate symptoms of depression. Creative engagement. Moving beyond passive consumption to active creation cultivates flow states, periods of complete absorption in an activity that research associates with happiness and fulfillment. Wholesome creative pursuits include handcrafts like knitting, woodworking, or pottery that connect you with traditional skills. Culinary arts that allow you to nourish yourself and others with wholesome foods. journaling or creative writing that helps process emotions and experiences, visual arts such as painting, drawing, or photography that sharpen observation, music making, whether learning an instrument or singing in a choir, dance and movement that combines creative expression with physical activity, supporting wholesome content creators. Your entertainment choices are votes for the kind of media you want to see more of in the world. By intentionally supporting creators who produce uplifting, educational, or ethically minded content, through subscriptions, purchases, shares, or donations, you help create a more wholesome media ecosystem. Consider following content creators who focus on sustainable living, personal development, educational content, or who showcase the beauty of everyday life. Overcoming obstacles to wholesomeness. Even with the best intentions, various internal and external barriers can challenge our commitment to wholesome living. Understanding these obstacles and developing strategies to overcome them is essential for long-term success. Number 1. Managing stress and anxiety. Chronic stress can hijack our best intentions, triggering comfort-seeking behaviors that often conflict with wholesome choices. Effective stress management techniques include progressive muscle relaxation to release physical tension, regular worry time to contain anxious thoughts, cognitive reframing to challenge catastrophic thinking, establishing clear work-life boundaries to prevent burnout. Number 2. Building resilience against negativity. We're surrounded by negativity in news cycles, social media, and sometimes in our immediate environment. Building resilience requires information diet management, limiting exposure to negative news, cultivating a support network of positive influences, practicing mental filtering to focus on constructive information, developing a personal mission statement to stay anchored in your values. Number 3. Setting realistic goals and habits. Many wholesomeness efforts fail because of overly ambitious goals. Sustainable change comes through the tiny habits approach, starting with ridiculously small changes. Implementation intentions, specific plans for when and where you'll act. Habit stacking, attaching new behaviors to established routines. Progress tracking that celebrates small wins and adjusts for setbacks. Remember that perfectionism is the enemy of wholesomeness. The pursuit of flawless execution often leads to an all-or-nothing mentality that undermines progress. Instead, embrace what psychologists call self-compassionate goal setting, approaching your efforts with kindness and understanding that occasional missteps are part of any meaningful journey. When you encounter obstacles, view them as data rather than failure. Ask, what can I learn from this experience, and how might I adjust my approach? This growth mindset transforms challenges into opportunities for deeper understanding and more sustainable practice. Wholesome leadership and community. Principles of wholesome leadership. Whether you're leading a family, team, or organization, wholesome leadership creates environments where people thrive. Core principles include leading by example, modeling the behaviors and attitudes you wish to see. Servant leadership, prioritizing the growth and well-being of those you lead. Transparent communication, sharing information openly and honestly. Appreciative inquiry, focusing on strengths and possibilities rather than deficits. Inclusive decision-making, inviting diverse perspectives into important conversations. Building supportive networks. We become more like the 5 people we spend the most time with. Creating a network that supports wholesomeness involves cultivating friendships with those who share your values. Finding mentors who exemplify the qualities you aspire to develop. Joining communities focused on growth and positive change. Setting boundaries with relationships that consistently drain your energy. Creating regular opportunities for meaningful connection, e.g., shared meals, activity groups. Fostering trust and respect. Trust forms the foundation of any wholesome community. Research from Google's Project Aristotle found that psychological safety, the belief that you won't be punished for making mistakes, was the most important factor in effective teams. Creating this environment requires, number 1, active listening, giving full attention without interrupting or planning your response. Number 2, appropriate vulnerability, sharing your own challenges and mistakes to normalize imperfection. Number 3, constructive feedback, offering observations with care and a growth orientation. Number 4, recognition, celebrating contributions and accomplishments regularly. When you cultivate these qualities, you become a catalyst for wholesomeness that extends far beyond your immediate influence. Your example creates ripple effects that gradually transform families, workplaces, and communities. Real-world examples of wholesomeness. Influential wellness leaders. Several individuals have created powerful examples of how wholesomeness can be integrated into modern life. Brené Brown, her research on vulnerability and courage has transformed how millions approach authentic living and leadership. Fred Rogers, through Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, he modeled kindness, emotional intelligence, and the value of each person. Thich Nhat Hanh, this Buddhist monk brought mindfulness practices into mainstream awareness through accessible teachings. Krista Tippett, her On Being project explores spirituality, wisdom, and human connection across traditions. Community-driven initiatives. Across the globe, communities are creating innovative approaches to wholesome living. Blue Zones Project, transforming cities by applying lessons from the world's longest-lived communities. Little Free Libraries, neighborhood book exchanges that build community and encourage reading. Community Gardens, shared growing spaces that provide fresh food and connection. Repair Cafes, volunteer-run spaces where people can bring broken items to be fixed, reducing waste and building skills. Organizations embracing wholesome principles. Forward-thinking companies are discovering that prioritizing employee well-being and community impact creates stronger business results. Patagonia, this outdoor apparel company demonstrates wholesome business practices. Their Worn Wear program encourages repairing rather than replacing clothing. These examples demonstrate that wholesomeness isn't just an individual pursuit but can be embedded in our communities and workplaces, creating far-reaching positive impacts. Challenges and opportunities. Common obstacles to wholesome living. Cultural pressures. Contemporary society often values productivity over well-being, external achievements over internal harmony, and constant connectivity over meaningful presence. Information overload. The sheer volume of health and wellness information, often contradictory, can create decision paralysis. Without trusted guidance, many people abandon wholesome pursuits out of confusion or frustration. Environmental factors. Physical environments like food deserts, unwalkable neighborhoods, or high-stress workplaces can create structural barriers to wholesome living that individual willpower alone cannot overcome. Digital distraction. Technologies designed to capture and monetize attention can undermine efforts to live mindfully and intentionally. The average American checks their phone 96 times daily, once every 10 minutes. Opportunities for growth. Despite these challenges, several emerging trends create unprecedented opportunities for embracing wholesomeness. Remote work flexibility allows more people to design lifestyles that support well-being, including living closer to nature or family. Increasing mental health awareness is reducing stigma and making emotional wholesomeness a mainstream priority. The rise of regenerative agriculture is making nutrient-dense foods more accessible while healing ecosystems. Community-centered housing models like co-housing are creating intentional neighborhoods that support connection. Mindfulness and contemplative practices are becoming integrated into schools, workplaces, and healthcare. Growing disillusionment with consumerism is driving interest in simpler, more meaningful lifestyles. Technology is a double-edged sword. While digital technologies can undermine wholesomeness, they also offer powerful tools for support. Meditation and mindfulness apps make ancient practices accessible through guided sessions and progress tracking. Wearable devices provide insights into sleep, activity, and stress patterns that inform better choices. Online communities connect like-minded individuals across geography, reducing isolation for those pursuing alternative lifestyles. Digital minimalism tools help manage screen time and create boundaries around technology use. Telehealth services improve access to mental health care and wellness coaching. The key lies in approaching technology mindfully, using it intentionally as a tool rather than allowing it to use us. By selecting digital tools that align with your values and establishing clear boundaries around their use, technology can become an ally in your wholesomeness journey. Conclusion. Embracing wholesomeness. Key takeaways. Foundation. Wholesomeness begins with intentional choices about nutrition, movement, rest, and mental habits that support overall well-being. Connection. Authentic relationships and community engagement create the social fabric that sustains wholesome living through life's challenges. Balance. Finding harmony between different life domains while allowing for flexibility and adaptation prevents rigidity and burnout. Growth. Embracing challenges as opportunities and maintaining a learning mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Practical next steps. As you continue your journey toward greater wholesomeness, consider these actionable approaches. Start with a single keystone habit, choose one small, daily practice that aligns with your values and will create positive ripple effects. Conduct an environmental audit, assess how your physical spaces and digital landscape either support or undermine your wholesomeness goals. Create a personal mission statement, articulate your core values and vision to guide decisions during challenging times. Find an accountability partner, share your journey with someone who shares your values and can provide encouragement. Schedule regular reflection time, set aside weekly moments to assess what's working, what isn't, and what adjustments might help. Practice self-compassion, remember that wholesomeness is a journey, not a destination, and setbacks are part of the process. Sharing the journey. As you experience the benefits of wholesome living, you become a living example that inspires others. Consider how you might share your journey. Invite friends or family to join you in specific practices like nature walks, cooking wholesome meals, or meditation. Share resources and insights that have helped you, without preaching or pressuring. Create or join communities focused on specific aspects of wholesomeness that particularly resonate with you. Advocate for changes in your workplace, school, or community that would support wholesome living for everyone. Remember that true wholesomeness isn't about achieving perfection but about continually aligning your choices with your deepest values. It's a lifelong journey of growth, discovery, and connection that transforms not only your own experience but ripples outward to touch all those around you. As you embrace this path, you contribute to creating a more wholesome world, one choice, one day, one relationship at a time.